Good evening. Sorry, I didn't realise I was a bit late. Oh, I've gone all croaky now. Oh, excuse me. Thank you very much for joining me. As I said, I didn't realise it was late. My watch is missing. It's only because it's out of battery. You know what these watches are. So, did you miss me? Well, I hope you did. I missed you, but I had a lovely time with the grandchildren. Always a bit of a tonic to see them, so that was very lovely. And whilst I was away, there was lots going on here. So we have got all the pre-order stuff, the stuff that unfortunately came in two different lots where they should have all come together, but they have all now come. And so the February card kits that were pre-ordered way back in February are all on their way to you. And I have sent all of those February card kit orders first class so that they get to you as soon as possible. Next lot of orders are going out tomorrow, and that's going to include the evening workshop. So that's in a couple of weeks' time, but that's all going out to you tomorrow, along with basically everything else. So lovely to see you all here, although I do see some poorly people. So Annie, get well soon, my love. And yeah, all sorts of people here today, so that's lovely. So lots to tell you, as you can see, because you can see what? I've never seen those there. So you will have seen a good mixture of old and new today. I think it might be you, Anita, because I hope it's not me, but I don't know about whether I'm cutting in or out. So can I just remind you that when we actually start getting going in a little while, if you've got a question for me, do just pop in great big capital letters question first, because then I'll be able to see it, really, is what we're aiming for, so that I can pick that up, because there is lots to tell you and maybe a lot that you might want to ask as well. So we, as I said, have got lots of new stock that arrived. So hence, I'm going to show you a couple of things today, and it's stuff that you've already got or didn't want anyway, because you've got something similar, which is fine, no problem at all. So we have got the Maximum Crafts Large Marguerite panel. Da-da! This is that. It is large. It's compared to the ordinary Marguerite. So this was the Marvellous Marguerites that we had. So let me show you there. So you had 10 on a panel there, and on this one you've got 4. The idea is that they can be used individually, but also that they have got the same pattern, so that they can go as a centre, which is what we're going to do today. So that's your Marvellous Marguerites on a small panel, and the large Marguerite panel is brand new, but restocks of this one. Then I'm going to be using some of the Moonstone mini labels. Now, they come in various different sorts, and I had overlooked them, but now and again you do need a nesting die, and I rather like these. So this one is let me just double check on it, because there's 2 lots here today. This one is the classic label. You get 11 dies in the set, and the largest one is just under 11 centimeters, so that's just about 4¼ inches by 7.7 centimeters, which is about 3 inches. And then it goes down to a very small one. But there's also, and I couldn't decide which one to go with today, this one, which is called the Pretty Label set. And that has got 9 dies in it, similar size, 10, just under 11 centimeters by 7.7. And again, just ideal, I think, for sort of like little labels, really, to put sentiments on, to put the little panels on, that type of thing. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be using today. And I'm incorporating with it something that many of you have had that might have been to a workshop with me last year, which is the Sensational Stripes background panel. So this is a Moonstone again. It measures just under 6.4, and it's meant to go with a 6.4 card, or from that size. And it just cuts out all these gorgeous stripes. So that's what I'm going to be using today to make a fairly simple but detailed as well. Lots of detail to it. So that's the sensational stripes. As I said, many of you that were on a workshop with me will already have this. So I've just popped them on again because they're all back in restocks. So and then whilst I think about it, I'm also using the essential foliage. I've cut out some of those for my leaves today, and my next YouTube live is on Sunday, which is the 16th of March at 6 o'clock. And as I say, you're going to be starting to see all the new gorgeousness that is heading your way. So without further ado, move that over there and let me show you some of the bits and pieces that I have already cut out. So first of all, we've got our marguerites. So these, as I said, are 4 that come in one panel. So when you cut out your panel, you have 4 already. All the petals are separated, but they also stay together as well, if you see what I mean. You don't have to cut them or anything, but they just form rather a nice daisy type marguerite daisy. And then I have incorporated that with cutting out some of the marvelous marguerites. So one of those means that I've actually cut out 10. I don't need 10 just at the minute, but they're always handy to have. And I've cut out as well one of the sentiments that we used last week. Gosh, was it only last week? It seems like a lifetime ago. But yeah, we've cut out those. As I said, I've cut out some of the, let's bring these over here, cut out some of the essential foliage. And I've also got 3 of the little pearls there, the pearl flowers, string of pearl flowers they're called. So let's make our marguerites up. Now, as I said, they are large. So when I say large, I mean they're not huge, but they are about 3.5 centimetres across. So just over an inch, inch and a quarter, shall we say. And then these little ones are just 1 centimetre, are they? No, 2 centimetres. So they're half as big again. I'm going to grab my ball tool and then I'm just going to press into the centre of each one of these. I'll make the 4 up, but I think I'll probably only need 2 or 3. We'll see how we go. So I'm going to get my glue, put a little bit of glue into each of the centres, and then just pop my flower into the centre. Couldn't be easier. So I'm then just going to press them down so we get a bit more of a sort of, well, you know, texture-ish with those. And I want to put in these little things. Now, what I was going to do, and because I didn't realise what the time was, I didn't get around to picking it up. What I was looking for was some glue dots. And I'm looking at them and can't see them. Where are you, glue dots? Because that would have been a really good idea. But I can't find the glue dots. Well, that's nothing new, is it? I mean, after all, I wouldn't go away and then come back and all would be organised and lovely, because that would not be me, would it? Hey. So, bit of silicone glue. Take that much longer to dry, unfortunately, but nevertheless, I just want to put those little centres in. So a little bit of silicone glue, into the centre. That's only because I want to. You don't have to do this at all. I just like the look. I just think that finishes it off. Rather nicely with a little flower in the centre. And let's pop that one in the centre. Do you know, I was quite surprised with my glue gun. I had forgotten what you're supposed to do when you're not using it for a while. You're supposed to put the proper lid on, and I didn't, and it was fine. So that's a bit of an amazement, all told, really. So I'm going to use all of those bits, and I'm going to pop them just to one side whilst we make up the rest of our card. So I'm going to use a 7x5 card blank, and I've already cut out one piece of satin gold card, which is also back in stock, and the satin gold card measures 11 centimetres by 16. Then I'm going to take myself a piece of white linen cot, and I'm going to trim that down to 10 by 15. So 10 centimetres by 15. And what that will do is it will give me a slightly bigger than the die, just slightly, like that. And I will just stick that together and then run that through my die cutting machine. Now, when it comes out, you'll see what I mean. It's very odd, but it's so effective. It's like, what are you going to do with that? But it's really effective. So let me just run that through first. Now, it is very intricate, so you may or you may not get it all through in one go, but not to worry if you don't. Sorry about the bright lights there. So, oh, it's creaking and groaning. It says, where have you been? You haven't used me. So I am just going to on the safe side. Now, can you see? I don't know. It has cut out beautifully, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to turn it and go through once more because it is very intricate. And I'd rather not mess it up, and I'd rather do it all in one go if I can. So the whole idea of this is that it cuts out the stripes, and then you can see the colour that's behind it showing through, which is rather nice. And see what I mean? All the stripes in there. We'll get those out in a little while. So have you? Oh, I'm not looking. I'm not looking if there's whoops-a-daisy, whoops-a-daisy. So there we go. So there are all the pieces. Okay. And then when we put them straight on top, you can see what I mean by it shows through, and yet it doesn't, if you see what I mean. So it really gives a very lovely effect, but with the outside bit. Now I'm going to use a spray glue on here. What sort of spray glues are people using these days? Any idea? Someone was asking in the group, saying that they'd run, I think it was Sandra, saying that she'd run out of her spray glue. What sort of spray glues are people using? I use the 3M one, but it isn't cheap, but then it does last for a long time. So I'm just going to take that bit of sellotape off because we don't want that. Now, I think it's easier to put it on with spray than anything else, because then all those little pieces just sit on there nicely. And of course, I'm putting it onto a coated card. So there you can see. Gives a really nice effect. Yeah, 3D display mount. Yeah. Have I turned the sound off? No. No, I haven't. It still says it's working this end. Don't know. Now, I'm going to put a bit of a bit of foam, because I've missed putting a bit of foam on there. So I'm going to put a bit of foam on the back. Oh, found the glue guns. Found the glue dots now. Not much good finding them now, is it? So let me... Had the sound gone a bit funny then? Oh, it was you. Oh, that's all right. That's all right then. So yeah, 3M display mat. It's not craft mount, mine's called. Is that not the one that you're using, June? It's not, I understand. Well, it shows how long ago that I bought mine, because mine's still called craft mount and it's in a blue thing and it's not anymore, but not to worry. So that can go on my card front like that. Then I'm going to take my lovely die set here, the classic label set. Now I think I will go with, so when you get these packets, let me just show you, you will see that on the back, when you take the dies off, they're numbered from the largest one being number 1 to the smallest one being number 11, or whatever size. Hunky Dory does that with all of their Moonstone dies. So I'm going to take die number 2, which is not the very largest one, but the next one down. And I'm going to cut that from satin gold. And then I'm going to take die number 3 and cut that from my white linen. So I've got some scraps here, so I thought I would use up some of the scraps. So let's pop that, which is die number 3, and this one onto die number 4, die number 2. So I'm just going to run those 2 through. And as I say, I like the idea of these being sort of just the little labels. And I've needed some large flowers, because just keep your eye on those, what we're going to do with those at a later date. At a later date. So here's my 2 labels then. I'm going to put those 2 together. Whoops. Not that you can see them there like that. And throw them away as well. Let's put them back on there so we know where they are. Trying to get it all out of the way so that you can see what I'm doing as well. So just going to pop. It leaves a very fine nesting margin all the way around. You'll see what I mean in a second, which is nice. So then you could use the 3, you could use another panel around the outside, but that one is going to go onto there. So let's put a little bit of foam onto the back of that. So 2 mil foam, and just popping that straight onto the back. Oops, put it a bit wonky there, but not to worry. Now you could of course use this round that way as well. In fact, you could use 2, couldn't you? But no, I won't. I'll behave myself for a change. So then I can get my gorgeous flowers. Now, whoops, got more glue on me. Crafter's Companion Stick and Stay. Yeah, the lady, Sandra, that was talking about the stick and stay, she seemed to have used that all the time, but had trouble getting it. I'm not quite sure why. She said it seems to be out of stock everywhere. So maybe there's a problem of manufacturing or something. I think it's quite one of their most popular lines, so I'm sure that it's not one that they're going to stop doing. Now, just going to place these first on here. I love that colour. So this is green tea, the colour of the card there. And then we're just going to place. Now, I don't know whether to go with. I think I'm just going to go with 2 after all that, you know. Which ones do I like best? I think 2 is probably going to be what I want to do. Now, I do want to trim the end of this off, though. With what, do we ask ourselves? With what shall we trim it, dear Liza, dear Liza? Because my scissors have walked. So we just clip it instead. There we go. Whoops. Now, I like all these subtle colours. I think they work together quite well. So I'm going to hang that slightly over the edge. And then I think that one can go there. But I want to make sure that I've hidden where they actually meet. So I'm just going to work out. I'm going to trim that down even further. Don't want There we are, that's better. So I've trimmed them down much smaller, but I think they will look much better now. Like it. So let's pop these on first. So a little bit of glue onto those bits. Oh, I know what's going to say to you as well. Sorry, I'm reading. Craft Mount is the one that they don't make the other one anymore. Oh, okay. Yes, and sending glue full stop through the post. You know, that could be something as to, I was just thinking as to why anyone that might have been trouble to get it, because they've really clamped down on a lot of things for not being able to send them in the post. You can no longer send craft knives, for example. It is now illegal in this country to send a craft knife. Hence why I can't sell them anymore. I can sell them if someone comes to me and gets one, but I can't put it in the post, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. So there's our little marguerites there. Oops. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to trim that off as well. Done. Let's my trimmer. Despite the fact that I've got it on as a banner, I'm going to take that off. And I will just slot that in instead. So I'm just going to remove the left-hand side. Whoops, can't get hold of it. The left-hand side of the banner there. Bring that back in. And then I'm just going to twirl it around that way. But then this last bit, twirl it back again so that I can pop that into there with a little bit of glue just about on that bit and on that bit. Just going to have to hold it there for a second. And there. Hold on. Let me get. That's better. Hold it there. You could have stuck it at the edges, but raised it in the middle. Indeed, I could, but the end would have been hanging over the side. That's why I didn't want to. And I want one end hanging over, but not the t'other. And I'm just going to pop a couple of little gems. I've picked those up, but I'm going to go for the candy, cotton candy instead, a bit softer. So just put a couple of cotton candies just to break up that background there. Really doesn't particularly need it, but I just wanted to just break that up a little bit. So there, a random, there you go. So using old and new, that's what we like to do. So we have got the old pieces on here are, for some, the background, the sensational stripes. For others, you might not have that one. You may well have the smaller marguerites, marvelous marguerites, which is this one. That is not new, but now back in stock. But the new ones are the large marguerite panel. We obviously have the moonstone labels. So this one is the classic labels, and then also available is the pretty label, as it's called. So again, a sort of a standby one, really, for you to have in at all times. And then you've got the background sensational stripes, which is this die as well. Obviously that's done with lots of different colors, but not today. We just wanted to go a bit simple there. Ooh, shining. And I've also teamed it with one of the banner sentiments left from last week, plus my essential foliage and a few of the cotton candy little glossies. So I do hope you like that today. I will be looking forward to seeing a whole group of you on Saturday for an online workshop. So that's great. Do look out for your post, because you've all got, well, not all, but lots of you have got posts coming. And do hope you can join me on Sunday for our YouTube live, which is at 6 o'clock on Sunday, which is rather exciting because I've got something very special to show you. Brand new, you've not seen it. And I can't wait to show you, because it's been sitting on my desk waiting for this moment for quite some time, and I can't wait to show you. So hope you can join me then. Thank you very much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Oh, don't forget, thumbs up, everybody. Okay, take care. Bye.